Like it or hate it, why does the Republican House privacy bill matter? Welcome to the weekly LinkedIn Live privacy chat. Beautiful day here today, working from home on Fridays, as I often do. I'm usually in the office or traveling during the week. The big news last week was the introduction of the Republican House privacy bill, and the reaction was what you might have expected. Privacy advocates, consumer advocates, Democrats were uniformly very critical. Privacy academics, from Dan Solov to others, said this is terrible, it's weak. Industry, mostly trade groups, were supportive. The bill is going to move forward. The Energy Commerce Committee will get a sense as to how much Republican support there is, but there were no Dems involved in the drafting, and none will be expected to be on the formal introduction. So people say clearly there's no path forward in this session. Congress is not getting much done, and they're not going to get something complicated like this done. But I think you'd be making a mistake if you dismiss this. And here's why. This is the first draft that has emerged post 20 plus laws passing into law. Earlier versions of these federal bills, APRA, ADPA, were conjured up in ways that don't look like GDPR, don't look like any of the particular state laws. This is the first draft that reflects what actually is the law in many, many states. Yes, some number of states go further. Some have even more flexible areas. Key elements that are in many states, universal opt-outs, data broker type stuff, are not in here by design, presumably because the staff intend to provide some room for negotiation. But I do suggest that the critics who have different ideas are not likely to be coming up with brand new ideas. There are clearly areas, and we in our blog, take a look at fpf.org, we tracked the bill against all of the different state laws, showing where it matches the kind of Washington Privacy Act. And when I say the Washington Privacy Act, I'm talking about the Washington Privacy Act, which never passed in Washington, but was the model for many other states, where it matches that model that is consistent across states. Where are the many areas where it diverges by going to more industry-friendly, more flexible areas. This is the playing field now. The critics can point out all of the areas where other states go further and put on the table, here's what we would want in order to support it. But I think we have a significant starting point, one where those who want more, believe additional measures are there, can point to the different states and can work off of this language to reflect what the general consensus has been and what is actually law in many, many states. So I think it's consequential. Okay. The second thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about today, I'm starting to really do some reading and learning about spatial intelligence, real world models, what the experts believe will come after generative AI, where we move from predicting the next words or even the next pixels to models that understand how things move, how things interact. This is super important for robotics, for autonomous vehicles, as well as for medical care. You get a scan today and AI analyzes it, and yes, it can point out where things don't look like another scan that has anomalies. But it doesn't understand the chemical interactions, the physical interactions, the system failures. And this is, according to Yang LeCun, Fei Li, leading scientists at many of the labs, the next step to really have intelligence as opposed to writing really smart things and making beautiful videos and designs. This requires scraping the world, scraping the videos of what happens in the world, scraping and analyzing movement. If we want a robot that can go into any kitchen and make coffee, it's not a matter of predicting which, the cabinet the coffee is in, because you've simply seen cabinets with coffee, right? It's understanding, here's where it may be, here's the kind of movements, and so on and so forth. Cars are doing this already in terms of anticipating, direction, speed, understanding what happens in the world, hopefully increasingly understanding, it might be a wet ground, so that vehicle near you could skid, all of that knowledge. So that means faces, that means gait and how people walk and move. A scan of an operating room is far more than, a picture. It's understanding and effects on privacy, and the vast amount of data will raise issues far beyond the generative AI issues. So it behooves us all to start understanding, how do these things work? Yes, they use neural networks, but they're encoding data differently. They're being trained differently. What are the different techniques that can be used to de-identify? Anyway, that's what I'm reading about this weekend, and I think it ought to be on everybody's radar screen. Happy Friday. See you all soon.